So, acolytes, you have a little situation here. Nick Pollum, presumably, made a joke about, well, kids that actually were deleted in the flood. I'm gonna be honest, I am a edgy guy myself, but I don't know if you can make this joke, especially right now, where everything's in here. But hey, I'm gonna hear it anyway because Rev's gonna show everything as he always does, and let's just hear the situation out. And I didn't actually know that Nick Pollum is a OTK member. Interesting. So OTK, huh? OTK is playing a dangerous game because Nick is actually supporting Hassan Piker, so... you know... okay.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be talking about NMP because he's facing another round of drama. Now, he's someone I used to watch many years ago, especially when he was back playing World of Warcraft with Soda Poppin'. Like, we're talking like possibly even to like the Justin TV days, which honestly, being around that long, you deserve some sort of a veteran's discount. But anyways, his most recent controversy is...
So it's watched him. Well, I have no such feelings for him. So that's that. I didn't even know what he streams.
One that is getting a lot of flack from people online for reasons that I think will be very obvious in just a second. So you can see this headline from Dexerto saying Nick Pollum has apologized for comments he made about the Texas floods. Sorry guys, the joke went too far. I wasn't fully aware of the situation. It's tragic what happened. I'll be more mindful going forward. Hope everyone stays safe and dry in Texas. So he made jokes particularly about the children who passed away in these floods and is now defending it as an edgy joke that...
I mean, the thing is, if he made the joke, it was inappropriate. He thought it was funny, and now he apologizes. I didn't hear the joke by now, but normally I would say, okay, you fucked up, you apologized, it is what it is, because let's be honest, we can't hold him accountable that much. Let's just see what comes.
just kind of went wrong. And the reason we're making this video today, the reason I'm talking about this is because he tries to lean on this as an edgy joke that he's allowed to make. Unfortunately, he's a massive hypocrite on the subject, and through his own actions on Discord while this was all going down, it proves he's not only a hypocrite, but he's also someone who's actively lying about whether or not he's actually sorry about this situation. So, for context, especially those who are not American, there was a massive series of floods in parts of Texas, and right now I believe it keeps getting updated. The number keeps increasing pretty much by the hour. I believe there's already over 60 bodies recovered at this point, including about 24 children, because unfortunately one of the places hit was a camp for young kids.
I heard there were floods, but I didn't hear that it took so many people with it. That's... Oh... I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I hope that you guys are okay, because some of you are in fact in America, Texas. And this, a situation like this, oof, making a joke about this just doesn't.
And obviously this is very tragic. And to add things to the already tragic situation, the social media reaction to this has been absolutely disgusting. You can see just one of many compilations of the totally normal people on Twitter celebrating that people died in these floods because they believe, for political reasons or policies made by the state of Texas, that these people deserved it, including children, by the way. These are the empathetic normal people, and another person making comments about particularly the children that passed away is NMP.
Let me just... Mrs. Butters, rural Texas watch, what you gonna do? There's no FEMA to pick up by your bootstraps. They gave it all to ICE. Texas to every front God has spoken, and here it's Texas. Cry harder, Texas. I'm gonna be honest, this is just disgusting. That's why I personally, even though, acolytes, you won't ever hear me talking about other people badly, normally, or wishing them harm, except for freaks like this. I am so done that freaks like this just go out and freaking wish harm, wish everything bad to people that have nothing to do with their fucked up worldview. This is just disgusting behavior. I absolutely despise it. Why would you do this? It's just... Why? As I said, why? This doesn't make sense. Disgusting.
Children that passed away is NMP with this clip where he's attempting dark humor, according to him, and it backfires horribly.
Like 13 confirmed people dead, and like 12
really?
like campers are lost right now from a summer camp nearby.
Campers? Is
Yes.
it children awake?
Younglings, Nick.
Okay. They don't have much left for anyways. It's okay.
Wait, they have their whole life?
Okay, step one. This wasn't a joke, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, fuck.
Ahead of them.
Yeah.
What? Their whole lives, Bree?
their
That's gonna
entire
Bree.
lives.
When they're older, every job's gonna be AI. Everything they learn is on ChatGPT. There is no future.
Yeah, as you
I'm gonna be honest, acolytes. This didn't sound like a joke. It didn't sound like a joke. I'm gonna... What the fuck? Oh, this is... If OTK will... If OTK keeps him, they make a big mistake. Because this wasn't a joke. There wasn't no freaking pointe. This wasn't anything to laugh at. This isn't a laughing matter in the first place. And then your tone isn't jokey. No, this wasn't a joke. Plus, you're a Hassan Piker supporter. And with this background, especially with this background, knowing this, I doubt, I cannot prove it, but I doubt that this was a joke. This is disgusting behavior. Totally disgusting. I hope OTK just gets rid of him. Damn.
can see that genius joke of his did not land very well. It kind of reminds me of situations like the one with Tricky Wee, for example, the VTuber who made a quote-unquote joke where she was expressing her disappointment at the failed assassination attempt on Donald Trump and try to rely on it as a dark joke. The question becomes, like...
I wouldn't compare it. Those two things aren't comparable in my opinion. Now why? Because the one is about a grown-ass man that's old and had his life, and while the joke wasn't funny because of the assassinations, it was a grown-up person that got joked about. It's, in my opinion, not as bad. But children, and then saying they had nothing to live for, and then not even saying it in a joking manner, but in a pure matter where you actually mean it. No, that's not comparable. That's disgusting.
What is the punchline? If you're claiming this is a dark joke, what is the punchline? I'm not sure what it is here. Hearing that 12 or 13 kids at that point have been killed by these floods, he basically says, well, they had nothing really to live for because AI is going to replace their jobs or something. Like, is that the joke? I don't know. Kind of hard to say here, but this would get a lot of flack on Reddit, where on the live stream fail subreddit, people were sharing this clip and people obviously were not happy about what he said.
By the way.
Where he decided to respond with this saying, "You got me, live stream fail." Never seen an entire Reddit self-report that they've never had friends before. Whoa, dark joke. Oh man, this guy is the devil. Molina deserves 100%, referring to his now ex-wife that he's in a divorce case with right now. Oh my god, get him. Holy F, how do you wake up every day knowing full well you're a live stream fail user? I couldn't do it. Props, I guess. Stronger than me. And the funny thing is, he is literally a user of this subreddit. He's on there all the time. I see screenshots of his posts defending himself all the time. And you can see negative 79 down doots on this one, or whatever language Redditors use. But there was someone who was also very offended by what's going on, and that is Donut Operator. Very popular content creator. He's a former law enforcement guy.
Yep.
He's a veteran. And also, we talked about him recently because he shared his very bizarre falling out in terms of his friendship with iDubbbz. But yeah, he is someone who, alongside people like Brandon Herrera, are going around spending the last couple of days trying to rescue people. And the good news is, too, about 1,000 people have been rescued at this point, thanks to the many different...
By the way, respect to them. Actually getting your knees dirty, going in the grid, and doing the stuff that they are doing, full respect. I don't care what you think about them. I don't care what you think about their politics. But actually going in, doing this stuff is by margins, like the way better than just talking about it. So that's
different first responders and also people like these guys going out there and spending some of their time helping out with the efforts. And this was his response to everything going on. This is a response to a clip sharing what NMP said. And he says, "We were in the mud looking for bodies all day. Great joke. Bundle of sticks at NMP." And yeah, the gamer words have been deployed, but I think people can kind of understand the frustration of someone like this who is...
No, we're in a time where insulting someone is the same as freaking R-ing them. So it's, yeah, no, insulting him, not even close to the joke he made. Even if it was a joke, even if it was made as a joke, as a dark joke that he didn't mean. Just getting called a fagotto isn't even close to the thing he said. It's not even in the same universe of being bad.
Out there actively searching for bodies, trying to recover them. And you got this guy making jokes about dead kids. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why people would be very frustrated, and people like this with this response would get a ton of supports. Now, this would be Nick's really only response publicly to what was just said, where he says, "Joke went too far, my bad, some hit, some miss," with this picture of himself with makeup on. I don't know if he's trying to like beat the punch or something, because this is like recent content for him where he was like doing this for content, I guess, and he's trying to beat them to the punch over it, I guess. But the problem with this, and it's something he keeps doing for some reason, he blocked him. He replied to Donut Operator and immediately blocked him, so he can't reply. And I've seen this happen with Nick like multiple times over the past couple of weeks, where he's beefing with someone, he replies with something and then immediately blocks the person he's responding to so they can't actually respond back. It's just not a very good look, especially if you're trying to stand on business here and just be like...
No, he behaves like a child. I mean, if somebody would really insult you, I would understand it. If Donut Operator actually harassed him, okay, fair enough. I mean, two big creators writing with each other is a bit different than some random F writing an insult. But I'm gonna be honest, I understand that if somebody insults you, you wanna block them. I do the same thing with not every insult. If it's a light insult, I don't care. Something. But if you're going out of your way of actually instantly making an insult that's harsh, then yes. But this, come on, dude, this is just weak. This is even for my standards, that's weak.
Like, joke didn't land right, sorry. Well, he would apologize. Not much after that, he would apologize, quote unquote apologize, saying, "Sorry guys, joke went too far. I wasn't fully aware of the situation. It's tragic what happened. I'll be more mindful going forward. Hope everyone stays safe and dry in Texas." Now, this would be all well and good if it wasn't for the fact he's being a massive hypocrite about this. And it's very clear based on his leaked Discord interactions, he was not sorry until he was called out and felt compelled to say something to save face. As shared by Donut Operator, he only quote unquote apologized because I called him out. And you can see these Discord messages from his server saying, "I apologize for nothing. Anyone upset is a pussy with no friends. I ignore your opinion and laugh at your failures." Yes, this seems like...
Remember the context of this. This isn't about calling someone ugly. This is making fun of freaking dead children. No. If OTK keeps him after this, for fuck's sake, honestly. If this was my employee, if this was my guy that's in with me, in my team, and lets my team look bad just because he's ego-driven this much, I don't care how big you are. You're getting the fuck out. Especially this, like, acolytes. This is just this freak.
Like a very repentant person after being called out for what he said. And then we have other screenshots like this where someone said, "Just seen the clip about the kids. Oh, Unc, what have you done?" Where he replies saying, "Resident sleeper, grow up." And then the hypocrisy really starts to hit. So as shared by Yeet here, who's had plenty of his own beef with NMP the last couple of weeks, we see this screenshot from Discord as well, where he shares the quote from Donut Operator saying, "Bruh, this is 2025. What the F?" So he's basically saying, like, we're not allowed to say these big mean words in 2025, but you're allowed to say all those things about kids. And that was pointed out by Brandon Herrera in the reply.
Gonna be honest, I'm gonna look up what Esmengol has to say about it, because this is one of his friends. And this is hypocritical as F. Fair enough.
Reply saying, "Dude makes a crappy quote-unquote joke about dead kids, but plays victim about being called a name. Wild priorities." And that's kind of the whole point of what people like this are saying. If you're going to dish out these edgy jokes saying these crazy things about victims of a flood, including children, you better be ready to take some heat. And you can't go run into Discord and act like you're the victim when this is all going down and you're getting flack for it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you leave some more messages saying, "Oh my god, his viewers are spam calling me a blank and telling me to basically game end." And that's odd because right before all these interactions, someone who said that his friends looked grossed out by this, he said, "Ha ha ha, freak, game end yourself." So now he's crying about that too after this went public. Crazy. But then we had this also saying, "Yeah, the joke was bad, I'll give him that, but calling a 35-year-old man the F slur in 2025 is wild. I feel like it's high school." Well, I think people would counter to that saying a 35-year-old man making fun of dead children seems a bit odd too.
And that 35-year-old man who actually answers to this and then blocks the person without them giving an answer is also quite childish. I hope he's not married. Does he have a... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Then we have this right here
I hope
saying,
he
"Yeah,
doesn't have
Techie," referring to Tectone, "asked me if I wanted to go shoot with him." I'm assuming referring to Donut Operator. That answer is definitely no. And that's interesting to point out because Tectone is down there right now. He canceled his stream for today to help out with the floods and trying to also find a proper fundraiser to help raise money to help out more people swept up by this
Fair
flood
enough.
and all the damage it's caused and the lives that have been put at risk. So props to Tectone for doing that. It's interesting how he named him. It kind of lined us up for that. But, of course, that's not all. He's doing something else he's been doing repeatedly. Every time he says something stupid, it goes on Twitter, he gets criticized for it, he starts, like, flexing on people with his money or his status on social media, and he's doing it yet again to the people on the Livestream Fail subreddit. You know, the subreddit he can't imagine being enough of a loser to be consistently using. Here's another one of his posts from there, saying, across all platforms, I'm doing better than ever. I've realized in my old age, Twitch isn't the only platform and I need to diversify. My Instagram is at 105 million views. My YouTube is at over 100 million, referring to, I guess, the last month. And then he says his last 3 Twitch streams have touched 20,000 viewers, which is crazy, blah, 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 blah. Everyone knows this guy is a prominent streamer. He's been getting good numbers streaming for a very long time. But you see this emphasis on YouTube in particular. And I found that very interesting, especially when he's trying to say, like, yes, this is a big flex for me, which, you know, not only the views, kind of implying to, like, monetarily, and you look at his actual YouTube, and you can see the views on his videos. 36K, 16K, 64K, 44K, 51K, 37K. I point that out not to say anything disparaging about those sorts of view counts, because I don't bring up view counts unless someone else brings it up. And I think that's fine. I'll see people out there say, oh my God, only 36,000 people watch this video. Dude, that's pretty impressive, okay? Just imagine doing anything in your life where 36,000 people care enough to...
I mean, for someone with 606k subs, those numbers actually aren't that high, to be honest. Okay, I mean, it's still a lot, but...
to give you X amount of their time to watch whatever you made. That's not what we're saying here. But he's saying, I have 100 million views, referring to the last month on YouTube.
Shorts.
And looking at these, it wouldn't make any sense. Where is it coming from? It's coming from shorts. And if you look, you scroll for a bit.
Okay, get effed. If you have this much with shorts, that's basically irrelevant. Shorts don't do much. I mean, there are certain creators that actually do fantastic stuff with shorts, but for a creator like this, and he's using a lot of women, so it's basically an eye-catching bait. Okay,
he's uploading like 5+ shorts a day, or his editor is, whoever's running this, and you can see the views, you know, 400k right there, 220k, 430k, 430k again, 320, 3 blah, blah, blah. Some approaching over 1 million. But do you notice something that is common about every single one of these? Are you noticing a pattern about his shorts? It's all featuring his female friends and people he collaborates with, because it gets people to click on them. And hey, that formula works. It's a tale as old as time. It works, of course.
It works.
But don't flex on Twitter about getting 100 million views on YouTube in a month when it's all from YouTube Shorts practically promoting other people. They're the highlight of this, not Nick in this scenario. So I don't know why he's bringing that up to flex on Redditors of all people. Like, I don't know, it just screams insecurity to me. It's a weird thing to get so up at arms about. And of course, around the time of all of this, because he's an OTK member, a lot of people were looking at Tips Out here because he is the leader of OTK. And they've already faced plenty of controversies in the past, whether warranted or not. But people are like, what is he thinking? Well, not too many hours after all of this went down, he made this big announcement about what's going on in Texas and how they are praying for those kids and their parents. And people are just looking at the timing of this, and they're saying that's awfully suspicious timing. It seems like this is a very clear move for damage control. And at this point, it's like, I don't know, just a completely messy situation for, well, the purposes of telling an edgy joke, according to this guy. And again, I didn't talk about this because he just made an edgy joke. I'm talking about this because I question his intentions behind why he was saying this in the first place, and also to point out the hypocrisy of how he responded to this and what he thought was probably going to stay on Discord. No idea why he thought those messages wouldn't get leaked. But he got caught lying about this, pretending to be sorry when he really wasn't, and that's why we talked about this situation.
Yeah, the thing is, it's disgusting behavior. And as I said, I at the start, without the context, I would say, okay, he apologized, it's fine. But after seeing all of this, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. And especially the thing that mostly changed my mind is because I know that this guy is a Hassan supporter, because I want to be a bit, well, let's just say safe if somebody writes me on Twitter and it's somebody who supports that guy. And this is one of them. So, knowing that, purely that, I don't think he joked. Simply as that. I cannot go in his mind, I cannot go in, I don't know if he's actually joked or not. But seeing all of this, plus the something, no, acolytes, this, But as it is, good night.